Comes in 2 colors. The one we have here is black. It also comes in the silver color or the gray color.
Okay.
You primarily see.
Okay.
This is in a class of machines that we call the 64 millimeter set.
Okay.
What that is, it's the burrs inside are 64 millimeters. What matters in these, because they're very simple machines, is the burr size, motor size, RPM speed basically.
Okay.
And that relates to the production that we can do.
Okay.
Okay. This has a little timer on it. They call it the timer version, and what that is, it runs on its own.
Okay.
Theoretically, it will shut itself off, but I hate hearing that noise.
Okay. And then this is a doser hopper version.
This is a doser hopper version. It's the most popular that you're going to see inside of coffee shops, basically.
Okay.
The electronic versions are not as popular.
Okay.
On some of the real big boys, they are, but this one here, the doser, is great.
And so the electronic version, it basically is similar to the other ones where it's just got a chamber and you have programmability up there.
Exactly. Well, you could get either one. So they have the Type A or Type B.
Okay.
Type A is really everything you see, where it's the buttons up top, basically. But yes, it's the doser list where you hit a button. You don't have to worry about pulling a little lever or anything like that.
And then Type B has the adjustment screws and a lever.
Yep, and the little button down below to activate with the portafilter.
Cool. All right. So we have 64 millimeter burrs. What's my RPM on this?
It's 1,750 RPMs,
Okay.
which is about standard. Most of your machines in that 64 millimeter range are going to range 1,600 to 1,800.
Okay.
So we're kind of right in the middle.
And what does RPM mean?
It's the revolutions per minute that's actually running through.
Okay.
It's, for most people, it means nothing. It's the speed that we're actually turning, though.
So it's how quickly it will
It's how quickly
grind.
it's going to spin.
Okay.
Grind can vary, of course, but yeah, of course, that is how quickly we can physically grind it. It relates a lot more. A lot of people have problems with heat standpoint as well.
Okay.
But yeah, really, when you get into these, that's all you're going to see. We can get into some bigger ones, these $2,000 and $3,000 grinders, where we bring the RPM speed down to like 400 RPMs. And what that's going to do is theoretically allow us less heat.
But are the burrs then larger?
The burrs are normally larger, yes. We normally get into 70, 80 millimeter burr sets to spin them that slowly.
And still get the nice production rate that you need in a business.
Yes.
Okay.
Because as we slow that down, we have to have a bigger surface area to still maintain a 3 and 4 second grind time.
Okay.
If we were to have 400 RPMs on a grinder with 64 millimeter burr sets, it'd take you 9 seconds to actually grind anything out.
9 seconds.
That's a lot of time.
I know, and you have a line out the door. So this is, for our home people, this is generally one of the ones that people invest in when they're like, I want a crazy grinder at home. But for a commercial business, this is on the small side.
Level.
Okay.
This is your entry level in a commercial business. Yes, on a home, we do have some home people.
Yes.
It's a little hard. It's tall, as you can see. I mean, it's sitting on, we have a normal counter height, I'm about 5'11", so this is...
And this is 2.5 pound?
2.2.
2, okay,
because that
the
0.2
hopper.
makes a big difference.
Okay.
Yes, 2.2 pound hopper, so we can hold a decent amount of actual espresso.
Isn't that
inside.
a straight up kilo? I think it is.
Don't speak different languages.
It's a kilo hopper. Okay.
I'm in America. It's pounds. 2.2 pounds. Yes, I do believe that is factual.
Okay.
When we get inside of here, of course, you have the whole doser. So you can see downside. I'm going to try not to make a mess. Gail will kill me. So I can actually dose something out from there. You can see that whole mechanism moving, actually sending anything out of there.
Can I change what is dosed out of here?
That's a wonderful question. I actually do not believe you can on a Mazzer.
Oh, really? Because I thought you could change these chambers so it did.
I know on some of the other brands you can. I do know, I probably should have prepared for that for this video. I do know on some of the other brands you can change how much that does. I do not believe this one actually has a set adjustment on it. It might.
Okay. But, if you don't know that, then maybe is it that most businesses aren't using that functionality?
No, that is the problem. So here, this is a doser. The idea behind a doser originally was it would dose 7 grams of espresso.
Okay.
That doesn't happen in America. So if it was nice, you could fill it all up and you could slowly just pull one and it would dose out 7 grams. Go into a shop in America and here's what you see.
Well, the grind is yes.
Yeah.
Well, the grind is running.
Mess.
Yum. Okay.
So that is how we use it. That is also part of the reason why you'll hear a lot of people complain on most of these doser ones that it throws the coffee. And what that means, I have a portafilter underneath it, and it's not dosing directly into the middle of my portafilter, it's overloading the left side.
I see.
The grinder itself, or the doser, does not throw the coffee. It's the sheer centrifugal force of you doing this.
Of your maniacal dosing.
Yeah, but we love to use it that way. That's the way, I mean, go into a coffee shop and show me a place that is
doing it very succinctly, finitely. Okay, so can you show me some grind consistency here?
Yeah, let's, where do you want to start? Let's start with, well,
how about you show
set right now.
Okay.
So I'm just going to go right here. It's set for pretty close to an espresso.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and come out. It's just on the edge of that clumpiness. Nice and fine. That would probably present really well as an espresso. We can go finer than this, though. So this is not as fine as it gets.
Okay.
So let's, to show contrast, let's actually take it coarser. So it really effectively, it's a stepless grinder. So we can almost go as coarse as we want to make it.
Road gravel.
Part of the problem is we have to make sure we take this little set screw out if we want to go coarse.
Okay.
Okay. If I were to leave that in, it would eventually stop right here.
Okay.
So I'm going to pop that out real quick. And I don't know, let's just see how coarse we can go.
Whoa.
I'm going crazy.
He removes the burrs.
Yeah. And then burrs pop off it. See that?
Wow.
That's coarse.
Yeah, and very, very, very inconsistent. Yeah, I mean, that's crazy.
I don't think that's you. That's not even French press.
No, that's totally.
That's tree bark?
That's something you use to fill your driveway cracks.
So, let's do this because I don't want to get messy again. I'm going to put that on there and let's go back finer. So to adjust fine, we're going to turn this on.
Okay.
Okay, that's already on. Now let's see.
And you do that so you make sure you don't bind it up with some beans while you're bringing the burrs closer together.
Yes. Did you see it when I just did, when I just turned it on, you heard that boo, it was buzzing, it was bound up?
Yeah.
That's because as they put it down, we have these, especially these huge chunks.
That are keeping it from...
That are preventing it from going down.
Okay.
Now, part of this, it's much more consistent chunks. So we're going to take this back down fine. Let's get it back to where it needs to be. Before I run out of coffee.
So since this is a smaller commercial grinder, who is the best target for this kind of a grinder?
This is
for businesses.
These are my entry-level ones. So typically I pair grinders to machines. A one-group espresso machine would be perfectly fine, all the way up to our mid-level 2 groups. So our Ranchero Class 7s, our Novus Manila Appias, even the Linea. Okay. Generally speaking, I try to get it into that 150 drinks per day range, right? That's where I normally try to spec this type of machine.
I see.
As we start going higher than that, we move into a much bigger range.
So you want a larger grinder and
larger
higher production,
larger motor.
Okay.
So I'm gonna just take this all the way down as fine as I can until it starts chirping at me.
Okay. So that whir there was them getting super close together, the burrs.
And you're gonna see, I'm gonna try to dose this left and right so I can show you there. You'll see as I start getting here how much more finer I'm getting. And we should be.
So you just made it a little bit coarser?
Yeah, I had to
backed
make
it off a bit.
Because if you notice when I was on, it didn't even turn on.
Yeah.
So that was the very first one that came out, that little chunkiness right there. You can see how baby powder fine that is. And then that's a little bit closer to back where we were.
Yeah. Cool.
So
all right.
That is a massive range from almost whole bean to there. And
half bean. Yeah. But you don't want to be doing that all the time, right? So you really want to dial this in. You don't want to be doing these kind of adjustments.
No, once we're set on a day-to-day basis, I mean, you can look up and you can see these little numbers here. I'm going to make adjustments from right there to, we want to go a little more coarse. Right to there. That's the difference of about 2 to 3 seconds in your shot time.
Okay.
And over time, as they wear down, we're going to be getting closer and closer, so that number doesn't always stay permanent. But across that day, you won't even go a whole range of numbers throughout the entire day.
Cool. All right. So that is the Mazzer Super Jolly doser model.
That is it.
Thank you, Brandon.
Thanks, Kat.